Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the virtual Cobalt Cafe. My name is Rick Lupert. It's week number 276 of our series. At least I think so. I have a note, and every week I add a number to it, but maybe I forgot to add one time, and it's actually 277. I don't know. I think it's week 276 of the series. I need a helper, I guess is what I'm saying. Good to have you all here tonight. In addition to our open reading, our featured reader is MC MoHagani Magnetek. MC, so glad you are here. I know it's our second attempt to have you in this space, and it's working out tonight. Here you are. You look fabulous. You're going to sound fabulous, and can't wait to finally get to hear you read. So before we get to our featured reader, we're going to have some of our open reading, five open readers, and then our featured reader. If you would like to read and you haven't already done so, send me a message in the chat and I will be happy to add you to the list. Once you are on the list, you get to read up to two poems. That is our maximum amount of poems that you can read. Our suggested time limit is less is more, and that is everything you need to know about participating in the open reading tonight. So there you go. So send me a message in the chat if you'd like to read. We do have a one drink minimum here at the Cobalt. Make sure that you observe that by, well, any way you want, really. We can't enforce that. We just ask you to observe it. Um, so there you go. Finally, you should have the chat room open. The chat room is available for you to interact with each other throughout the festivities, since otherwise everyone is muted throughout the whole darn thing. I believe that is everything that I need to tell you. So I guess at this point, I would like to ask if there are any questions. Cathabella, yes.
Rick, do you ever feel like a wandering storyteller?
Um, Good question. I only, most of my reading these days happens here in this space on Zoom, and it doesn't feel like so much I'm wandering anymore. I used to do a lot more in-person readings.
Wandering.
So they do come along periodically, a handful of times during the year, mostly locally. So I don't know, it's hard to feel like you're wandering in LA when you're driving from place to place, but yeah, good question.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Looks like Martin Parker has a question. Hi, Martin.
Good evening, Rick. For some reason this evening, I was wondering, what is your opinion of zucchini?
Um, just checking to see there's no zucchini in the room. I don't want to offend any vegetables. I'm okay with zucchini. It's not my favorite vegetable in the world, but I support its right to exist, and I'm not against people who like to eat it.
Well, I do like it myself, but I remember we had so many in the garden. My father wanted us to take it to our friend's house. We went to play. It's like, no, we want them to ask us back to play. They're not going to do that if we bring more zucchini over their house.
Zucchini as currency, I
Yeah,
think is what I'm hearing, Martin, which I'll invest. Just let me know where to go to sign up to do that. It sounds
I,
good.
I think it was
Sounds like
more anti-currency that time, but yeah, whatever. Thank you.
even better. Um, all right, Martin, thank you very much. Any other questions? All right. Well, I think we're going to get going then. Five readers: Bill Gaines, Ed Potastic, Melody, Debbie Siegel, and Martin Parker. You guys are the first five, then our featured reader, and then the rest of the open reading. So on deck, our second reader will be Ed Potastic. Please welcome our first reader, next week's featured reader, Bill Gaines. Hello, Bill.
Hello, lovely to be here. I am excited to get it started. The first poem is called Mildly Taboo. You can't talk about the joys of smoking smoking to a classroom of kindergartners. You can't reminisce with retired firemen about the good old days when they just mailed you Victoria's Secret catalogs for free. You have to talk openly and directly about your values to your racist uncle. If you talk about Kim with anyone, you're fucked. You can't talk to the queen about the birds and the bees, for the queen is dead, and so are we. End of piece. And my second one, this is called Fine French Words. Le boulangerie, le boudoir, les montagnes, la douche. Ce sont quelques mots qui plaisent à mes oreilles. They slide in and somnambulate. I rest my head on a fine, clean pillow, clear my mind, close my eyes, and dance the day away. Lithely on a stage of black, I twirl in the furious music of silence. Appréciant les sons. Fin.
Those are some fine French words indeed, Bill. Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to your reading next week. By the way, I just took a look at the poem you sent for the broadside, and it's a fun one. So it's going to be a hoot. So
Yes, it's going to be a journey. Well, and we'll all go on it together.
I can't wait, and I'll have my passport ready. Magnifique, Bill. Round of applause for Bill Gaines.
Thank you,
On deck. Oop, sorry. Go ahead. You'll have to unmute again. Sorry.
Thanks, everybody. That's all I was saying.
Oh, I thought you said, okay. Very good. I thought you were asking a question there. Okay. Very good. Round of applause for Bill Gaines. On deck, Melody Anderson Bermides. Please welcome now Ed Potastic. Hello, Ed.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much for hosting. I love the most to serve a toast. Hello, my name is Ed Potastic. Hopefully I'm fantastic. Please get in time to join my rhyme thought so sublime. I got two poems, so I won't take too much time. The first poem is What Are Stories? What are stories? A newfound glory. Line on top of lines, the weaving of signs, eyes glued to the pages, addicted to the stages. The sudden changes, the plot rearranges, the character struggles, the troubles, tumbles. The villain is slain, the trials of pain, or maybe it's fear to switch gears. The bumps in the night, sending us a fright. It was all a curse, or much worse. It might be a dream of a Halloween theme. It could be a play going many ways, acting in roles to inspire the souls. Or is it sci-fi? Or a secret spy? A tale of espionage, under hidden camouflage. Or a story of war. What are we fighting for? Bang, 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 boom goes the tank. Or a self-improvement book, fixing everywhere you look. Or it could be an exam prep, lessons you can't forget. Or maybe it's a diary, reading inner travesty. Or it could be fantasy, tales outside reality. Or historical biography, or great photography. Or a book for dummies, or how to get easy money. No matter the story, it's in our history, giving us lessons for our sessions, greatly teaching us don't be oblivious, don't be blind, don't be behind, don't be in vines, follow the lines. Let life fly you away for a brighter dawn for a new day. Thank you. And the short one is called Gains in Rain. These wounds are deep, pain was never cheap. The tattoos burn on my flesh, while my heart was ripped out from my chest. Abandonment, where do I begin? The trails never ever end. My dad walked out on me. That's only the beginning of this poetry. My ex-girlfriends walked out on me. A bunch of fish swimming with the sea. My old friends walked out on me. I didn't have time to stop and grieve. My innocence walked out on me. It went somewhere else to be set free. Abandonment is pain. But what have we gained? What's sunshine without a downpour of rain? Pain, sorrow, and abandonment make you human. Don't let your heart and mind be in chaotic ruin. Thank you.
Ed, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for the personal sound effects as well. Round of applause. Round of applause. That's a new thing I'm working on. Try it if you'd like. Also, a round of applause for Ed Potastic. All right, on deck, Debbie Siegel. Please welcome now Melody Anderson Bermides. Hello, Melody.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. My poem is called The North Wind Doth Blow. The north wind doth blow, and we shall have snow. And what will poor Robin do then, poor thing? He'll sit in the barn and keep himself warm and hide his head under his wing, poor thing. And that's from an old English nursery rhyme dating back to the 16th century. This morning I walked outside in the cold, 43 degrees, and cleaned the backyard of poop, dog poop, listening to the chirp, trill of the birds in the neighbor's yard. Birds I heard but could not see. This is nothing to me, I thought, a Midwest girl, having lived the first 23 years in cold winter weather, 60 degrees below zero, wind chill factor. Although my mother did not believe in the necessity of raking leaves, her famous quote, "The good Lord sent them, the good Lord will take them away." As she sits closer to the good Lord, she perhaps pontificates more. I spent yesterday raking leaves, winter leaves, red, orange, brown, yellow, gathering them up in piles, placing them in a big black bag. Someone had taught me this, surely not my mother. I had not done the leaves in the front yard. A gust of wind greeted me at the door, but by this morning they were all gone. Perhaps my mother was right all along. Whoa, my wife yelled at the door, all wrapped up in a wool hat, winter coat, and gloves for the season. It's 43 degrees. It's cold, she cried, her teeth chattering. But she, a Northern California girl from Vallejo, what would she know? I too have softened with the years, avowing to all that would listen that this is the coldest winter ever. As I wrap my little chihuahuas, 3 deer head, and chihuahua mixes, 3 more. Chihuahua mixes being short for little dogs, mongrels. I wrap my little dogs in winter jackets for the walk. The dressing, the donning of the jackets, one blue with a hood and a pocket with a blue paw on the front. 3 plaid jackets, 2 red plaid, 1 pink plaid, 1 orange jacket, and finally a thick gray jacket. I in a matching pink winter jacket, red hat, and red mittens. Note that it takes us longer to get dressed. The donning of the jackets, then it takes for us to walk down and back up the hill. And of course, we move the undonning of the jackets after our walk. We, my wife and I, both now Northern California girls, will make it through the winter, this winter, the coldest winter ever, I write. As my cat, my calico cat, Meow Meow, bops my pencil with her head. Yes, you are in the poem too. While your thick fur coat seems to protect you, I wondered just this morning if you too need a coat, a winter's cat coat for the season. But perhaps not, as you quickly run ahead of us, jumping behind trees and spotting us, as we all, 1 dog walker, 3 chihuahuas, 3 chihuahua mixes, and 1 cat, 1 calico cat, walk through the cold, 43 degrees, Tuesday morning. That's it.
All right, Melody, thank you very much for that. Good to hear that piece. And sounds like you're trying to stay warm over there
Good trying.
in the Bay Area. Hope it works out, and thanks for being here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Round of applause for Melody Anderson Bermides. 2 more readers than our featured reader, MC MoHagani Magnetek on deck, Martin Parker. Please welcome Debbie Siegel. Hello, Debbie.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everyone. I'll read 2. Moonstone, millstone. Throw open the door and windows. Uncork the cows. I'll have a drop. While maidens weep, crops sleep, and music goes round and round. Accidents and ornaments abound. Heaps of bread, gobs of butter, both brutal and sentimental. No resolution on the table. So you spin a spider web first thing in the morning. 2 circles charted by the moon. Returning to flimsy worlds, the woman who binds the last sheaf concentrates on the feeble flame. A sugar cube wasteland, liquid and sparkling at the edges. Sunlight encases it in ale and cakes. She shoves the wagon on paths of flagstone. Mind is like that. And no matter what, let the mind meet the world to get a second glimpse of the scary clown, swollen head down, dead set on his work. Lost transmissions, tie clasp microphones, stacks of broken bottles, cattle and drones. Mind is like those lost transmissions. So let the mind meet the world and give it its due. But don't believe in every single thing you think. And green snake in the green grass. Grace shines on a green snake in deep green grass. In stillness, snake thanks moon for listening to stories of the day. In the dark, she is free and safe to shed, release, move. Rising in the restoration of unearthed truth, both vulnerable and protected. Unlocked in the barren place, free to roam with the galloping hooves. Farewell to this cold moon, concealed in vessels and essences. 12 constellations, colossal transparent pillars. A left foot stepping right, longing for eternal emanation. Punch and Judy puppets, mistaking false light for an unopened letter, dead animals, and the shutting of gates. Abominable concoctions as the wheel turns. It is cold, and the snake whispers, secrets are not lies. Thanks.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you. Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting there. Or I could just say, I just wanted all your words to sink in for everyone. That moment of wait that people needed. So let's just go with that, and not that I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself. Nice to see you again. Thank you very much for being here. Always great to hear your work and see you deliver it as well. Round of applause for Debbie Siegel. Okay, on deck is our featured reader. Please welcome now Martin Parker. Hello, Martin.
Hello again, Rick. Got a couple poems for you today. The first one here is called Marrow. The marrow growing in my garden feeds the lifeblood of my soul. Within my frame makes blooming blossoms, nutrients that keep me whole. Consuming cells from distant planets brought here many years ago, reconfigured by my body. Deep down in my bones they flow. And that was from a prompt from one of my favorite workshops, the Tuesday Poetry Practice of Wayne Lee. The prompt was, what is deep in the bones? And it made me think of the pun of marrow being in the bones, but also being basically the British equivalent of zucchini. Therefore, it's growing in my garden, or used to when I was growing up, at least. The second poem is called Altered Reality. Instead of a layoff, try calling it an opportunity, a chance to get lost in the chaos of a new paradigm, one that never seems to align with anything I know, but neither did the ways I worked before, stealing rare moments to express the colors in my soul. Instead of a distraction, try calling it a whole new way of looking at life to keep gravity from sucking me down into the pit of despair over how do I stand on my own 2 feet as more words than ever flow from my heart and spill out into this world. Thank you very much. I'll put my usual links in the chat in case anybody needs any holiday cards or gifts or t-shirts or tote bags or anything like that. And or a calendar. I've got a new calendar that's out if anybody's interested. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Martin. I hope that people are checking out your stuff and supporting you as an artist. Glad you're here with us, sharing the word part of your work, and thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Round of applause for Martin Parker. On deck after our featured reader will be Denise Dumars. That leads us now to our featured reader, MC MoHagani Magnetek. So I'm so excited that we finally reached this moment. A year and a half ago, I was in Alaska on a tour of a bunch of cities there, and that brought me to the city of Anchorage on our very last day. Addie, my wife, and I went to the Alaska Museum, which was a really interesting museum that incorporated all kinds of things. It's sort of like a science museum, it's a culture museum a little bit, and it's an art museum with all kinds of art created by people, local people, and others. So it's a really interesting experience being at that museum. When we were wandering through the museum, suddenly the work of our featured poet was there featured. And honestly, I don't remember, I should have thought of this ahead of time. I don't remember if it was being broadcast on audio, if it was part of a visual thing. I just remember that you were there, MC MoHagani Magnetek, and being a poet myself and involved with the poetry community, I really gravitated to that exhibit and found your work really intriguing. So made a note to invite you to this space tonight. So first of all, kudos to you for having your work represented in a museum, and well done, Alaska Museum in Anchorage, for supporting poets by featuring their work in any way at all. We learned earlier, is also in her bio, but MoHagani is in her third year at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, getting a PhD in anthropology. That's really quite an achievement to have made it that far. I don't know if that's the last year or how many more years you have to go, but well done, I'd have to say. She has written a number of books and stage plays, a couple of interesting titles. There's a whole lot in the bio you can check, but a couple that leapt out at me. The One Magnetek Time I Jumped Over 5 Cars, that's one title. Maybe my favorite, Girlfriend, What's Your Recipe for Lemonade? I mean, I'd like to know the answer to that question as well as read that book. She's a community builder. She's won poetry slams. She's achieved so many different things in so many different ways, but also says that she's currently working on getting her life together, and frying fish is her favorite pastime. So I appreciate the bringing it down to brass tacks and reality at the end of your bio there. Thanks so much for being here. Please welcome our featured reader. I'm MC MoHagani Magnetek. Hello.
Hi. Oh, wow. Thank you, Rick. I'm gonna get started here. Um, it's not cheaper to keep her. I'm a bad mamacita. Magnetic radiation going off in your speaker like what? Too many kids, so I'm not gonna cuss. My poetics originate from dark matter. I leave every open mic covered in blood spatter. Hold up, time out. Let me turn up the sauna. Baking cakes, I got the sweetness, so call me sugar mama. My lyrics are jelly, so that's why they jam 'em. Your host is doing the most, is making poetry slam. Back up. Give me 50 feet. I'm on the mic to make the cipher complete. Your favorite poetess. Spitting a verse, even if a rhyme so put the gear in reverse. Your girl over here sparking up Matt-isms. That's right. You heard me. A cataclysm, an explosion, if you will. So let go and act ill with mahogany. Yes, just like the tree. Magnetic, as in magnetically. With that Bagua style kung fu. MC for dropping mad clues. So the ball is in your court. So what you gonna do next? I done showed you my good side and I'm still vexed. There's nothing wrong. You can't fix me. I'm a lady, but still rub off my clothes like Bill Bixby. Then turn all sexy green on your ass. It's like She-Hulk smash. And your entire paradigm has been terror transformed. Game over. Magnetic wins. Insert coin. Hey, okay. So that's my little introduction piece I do when I'm in front of new crowds doing my poetry. Let you know a little bit about myself, how to how to say my name. But what it doesn't say is that, or sometimes like what it gives off is that I'm a spoken word artist, and it's so far more than that with me. I love the written word a great deal, and I gained quite an MFA in creative writing and literary arts in 2020. Although I focus on fiction, but I've been a poet since I was like in the fifth grade. And so I just love sharing poetry, all forms of poetry, and I really enjoy this space. I'm sorry it's got here so long. I think I was like September, and then I came down with an ugly cold. I really tried to bat it off all day that day, but I just wasn't sounding right. And then I spent the last, well, tomorrow will be making a month since I had a total knee replacement surgery. So, but yeah, but I'm coming to you from Fairbanks, Alaska, on the land of the Lord Tanana, the people, the Dene people here in, yeah, and it's cold, and that's why I'm like all covered up here. I think it was like below 20 earlier today. I don't know what time it is right now, but hopefully, this poetry will keep you all warm. Just listening to you all is warming me up. So I have the piece I want to share with you all that's on the broadside poetry, and it's titled "Making a House a Home." Life growing in a row on a windowsill. Warmth of midnight sun nurtures African violet and geranium. New words added to my glossary. Blooming with love from her hands that place conch shells full of soil, spring adjacent to basil and thyme, splashes of crimson on serrated leaves. Succulent is the mix this morning. Together on the windowsill, silhouette of her dreams as she sleeps, next to me in new dimensions of color, our life growing. So yeah, that's about my wife Juanita. She's like an amazing horticulturalist and love plants. And since she came into my life, I not only like plants and I like actually water them sometimes, but I actually like Christmas now. Like I said before, I used to be a Grinch. So much so that I wrote this poem that like popped up a few days ago on me that I want to share with you because I had a background check and for a thing, and so they sent me a copy of my background check, and it like it shows everything in my social media account in addition to your criminal and background stuff. But so I was like scrolling through. I said, "This is the worst thing." They ding me for trolling for this poem, and it's titled "You Didn't Make My Christmas Card List." Looking over my Christmas list. I'm sorry, sugar, but that bullshit you put up all year, you didn't come close or near. Not even a consideration. If you want to know the situation, do you remember how much you were a witch in September? All summer, a straight up beehole. And last winter, a jerk I had to leave out in the cold. I guess you forgot Santa has eyes and can see. You don't deserve not one darn gift under the tree. I guess you find out. I guess I suggest you find a star and make a wish. Maybe next year you might make it on my Christmas list. So, like I said, that poem's for 2017. I'm not a Grinch anymore. I have a lot more like lovely poems, and I should get dinged for trolling in the future. But I often share that poem like around this time every year for Christmas, like out of the blue, or share it on my social media. So what I really want to get into is this work. So, like I said, I've been doing poetry a long time, and some of these pieces are from my first poetry book I wrote in 1997, 90. I think no, actually 98. But the collection stems from 95 to 97, and it's titled "BFAP Insightings at the Bus Stop." And at the time, I was in my 20s, in Houston, Texas, just broke, riding the bus everywhere. And in that time riding a bus, I observed quite a bit of things, and so I wrote about those experiences that I was having as I was riding a bus. So let me pull it up here. And oh, just to be aware, I have a link here to drop into the chat. I'll do that really quickly. Okay. So this first piece is titled Some Time Ago on Metro. Last night, I was yelling on the bus. Man, I was preaching. I was schooling my people about Africa and being African up and down the aisles. Yo, sister, yo, brother, let's get together and build a nation of liberated Africans. Let's construct study groups to read and study our foundations, contributions, and struggles. The whole time, the bus is cruising, black people getting on, black people getting off. Right? Okay, what's the next one we got? I like that one. This one was a fun piece here. Daily Travels. This one is titled uh This morning on the limo, my uncle was the driver. A ride 2-day pass, being with kinfolk couldn't have been much liver. The situation led me to the female root worker from Uganda. Such an experience makes way for many things to ponder. The spoken word led me to Brother Musa's shop, engaged in vibing with my brethren, carrying on and whatnot. Exchange currency for some essence oil and licorice root. Many destinations and limited time. I must be in hot pursuit. A sister at Project Row House consults me on grooming my locks. I agreed to advertise her natural hair workshops. Share love with my sister in the struggle over education. Receive a $5 credit for participation in the movement through cooperative economics and concern for the love of my people. I must learn lessons about rivalries, informants, political prisoners not set free. Every bit of today's experiences adds a little more depth and understanding to me. I like the most I like about this poem now, reflecting it on it like almost 30 years later, is that my uncle used to drive the metro, and sometimes every now and then I would get on the bus and he would be driving the bus, and I'll sit up there near the front and talk to him and chat with him as best I can. He passed away about some years ago now. So I wanted to share that poem in remembrance of him, which kind of like leads me into the next piece I wrote about my big mama, my grandmother, as my uncle's mom. And this one is titled Candlelight. A storm outside of Big Mama's house. Can't see a thing but each other. Only when we come close together, conjuring up good times, hoping they will come again in the shadows of bad weather. The more experienced teacher helps the lesser experienced student to grow. She mixes all the nutrients and lessons of life in a pot of gumbo. Sauna brings sweat like teardrops to roll down my face, allowing imagination to experience another place. Where sleep joins in on our conversation, candlelight becomes the most precious of God's creation. I love my big mama. She used to like make gumbo and stuff when I go over and hang out at her house. And like this particular night, there was a storm, lights went out, so we were just around the candle eating gumbo, and that's kind of like what inspired that poem. Like you said, this is all from 95, 97. I was a much different person in some respects than I am now. And then I also enjoyed, as much as I enjoy like free verse, and I love forms of poetry such as Villanelles, which is the piece that Rick saw in the museum. I can't remember the title of that piece. But the interesting thing about that, the reason why you saw the video, is that I had wrote the poem and then I created the video, the imagery to go into it by recording myself typing the words. So it was no audio attached to it whatsoever, just the video of me writing poetry at the confluence of the Tanana and Chena River in here in Fairbanks. But this one, it kind of like leans that way in terms of just views and perspectives of Earth. And it's titled Observations of the Third Rock from the Sun. Somehow the sky touches the earth, or maybe the earth touches the sky. Some trees are tall and some are short. Melodies linger in the air long after the birds sang the last note. Above all is the sun, with rays on, under, around, and through everything. I see why people worship God. So yeah, I don't know. I was stoned a lot in my early 20s and stuff, so this, this is what happens. Uh, anyways, good times. Okay, so I have a few more pieces here. Let's get to it. Clicking through. This one is titled Lady Elegance Grace, and I dig this one because it's transformed over the years. One of the things I learned too, since I used to wonder why you would see some poems titled when they're dated. It seemed like they took 30 or 50 years to create. I'm like, it don't take all that time, right? But I've learned over time and living my life that, these our poetry, it evolves as we evolve. And sometimes, our pieces that it may have been finished, but we come back to these. And so I came back to this one and like continued to work it from time to time. And I think finally I would say I completed it in 2014. It's titled Lady Elegance Grace. Words tap dance on my windowsill. So I let her in to see all that I conceal and got me trapped and lost in this world of romance where my thoughts and desires enhance. I'm a lady, and oh, I love to dance. Last night, an angel led me center stage for my chance. My name is Elegance. I spent all of my time on the dance floor, hands outline shadows as eyes explore. There's no reason to chase the love of grace. Yesterday prophesied that today I will know the love that tomorrow is always speaking of. I became the only queen to share inner space. That's why I call myself Lady Elegance Grace. Sweet. Okay, I had two more. I'm doing good on time, Rick. Sweet. Um, this one is titled. This is the last poem in this collection. And it's actually it's titled BFAP Insightings at the Bus Stop 21 Rhymes by the brother from another planet. And so it's actually just like 21 poems in it, but it's like 22 because I put a dedication piece in there. But this one is titled Destination Self. Before I lay me down to sleep, I pray to the Lord my soul shall keep. As I make my way into this spiritual bliss, leaving this world, I'm on an exodus, out of day and into night, searching while running from the ultraviolet light. Cruise control and staying calm. Peace on earth is hard to find for some. For me, it comes easy. I just close my eyes and let becoming be. Missions are for Jesuit priests. The distance between me and the Creator must be the least. From here to there, the closest to none. Virtues I attain and fetters I shun. Transmigration through purification. Returning to my planet is my destination. So I have one more piece here to share with you all. Let me see if I can find it. This has got to be my favorite piece, and it did come to like long after this collection was created. But when I was just thinking about a introductory poem to this collection in the third edition, I decided to put this in here. One of my friends, my sister friend, she loves when I share this. And I dig it too. It speaks a lot to me, to who I am, I was, I'm becoming, and it still does today. And it's titled Early Wisdom. Optimism straddles illusion when at the vortex on the verge of finding a solution to counteract systematic pressures. Every day is filled with numerous possibilities and great measures just to attain the basic necessities for longevity and duration. Patience and determination almost always resembles an occupation. Day breaks once more as the earth rests till noon. If the game show ever ends, it will be too soon. A young woman gifted in black. All the experience in the world, but still lack stability and dominion in her inner space. Success surrounds her lips for the aftertaste. Clarity and direction are gifts from the gods to aid her travels against all odds, desperately trying to catch a note to finish the melody her ancestors wrote. The reality is, she's a piece of a human trying to become a whole. In the late hours, stranded in the cold, the truth is the only story that remains to be told. Long after the last word in the book is written, purgatives and cleansers are only for the bitten, sufficing at the thought of another attack. Lorraine Hansberry, it sure is a battle to be young, gifted, and black. And that's that. That's all I have to share with you all. But I wanted to be here in this space with you all. I wanted to bring something that I had actually written and it was in text as opposed to some of my spoken word pieces. And this is great. This is good for me, and it's long overdue. And I needed it after a month laying up all medicated and recouping with my knee and stuff. So I needed some poetry, and I appreciate you all. It's such a wonderful audience.
You are such a wonderful reader of your work, Mohagani. You spoke about wanting to, you tried to differentiate to some extent spoken word versus whatever else might not be spoken word, and I think there's a lot of overlap, and that's it's not just how you write, it's how you read, and I know I really enjoyed what you brought to us. I thought that was really cool. Your Bill Bixby reference early on gives me a good clue on when you come from. I'll have to say. Um, I'm so, yeah, you had a cold and then just got it. You have a whole different knee, now since when I invited you. So that's a really big deal. I loved you mentioning the Chena River only because I got to ride on a boat on it a year and a half ago, and it was just a cool experience seeing a lot of things on that in that spot in Fairbanks. And then the whole concept of coming back to pieces reminded me of and for some people, there's some people will or won't do that. I mean, Ginsberg said first
Mm,
thought, best thought, right? But then Walt Whitman, arguably equally, if not more famous than Allen Ginsberg,
yeah,
released six different versions of Leaves of Grass in his life. So, you've got this book out, and maybe it's only the first version of it. Who knows?
yeah.
So, anyway, I really enjoyed that. I'm going to paste some stuff in the chat for people to
Thank
check
you.
out and share the screen so people can see the broadside. That I made for the poem that you read. People can download this now at the Cobalt Poets website. Link pasted in the chat, also pasted in the YouTube chat, and also pasted in the Facebook of posting for this event as well. So you can head over there, download this. It's an 11 by 17 print. That's how we compensate our featured poets. Hope you'll consider quote, purchasing one by making a donation to, in this case, you've got three options. There's a Cash App ID, a Venmo ID, and a PayPal link. So if you got any of those and want to drop some dollars in the virtual hat for our featured reader, that's how you can do it. There's also a link to the book BFAP and Sightings at the Bus Stop, a poetry collection, 1995 to 1997, which came out, I think, earlier this year. So that's a long time to have that in your pocket and be working on it. So there you go. Thank you so much for being here. We got a treat at least the week before you were featured. You came to the open mic just to check out the space. So I know you know how to come to open mics, and I hope you'll come back and join the crew every now and then. Got something new or old you just feel like sharing, we're here and we want to hear it. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. This is the third edition of this book, um, and and I love this space. We have an event here that happens in Anchorage. Actually, it's called a poetry parlay, and it's the sort of the same format where there's a guest poet, but then in that situation, for instance, like if it's the guest poet, but then there's a featured poet in a sense. So just say it is Ginsberg, and then everyone else in the poetry parlay will read pieces from Ginsberg, and it's just a cool format. And I really appreciate this space, and thank you all for having me. And I wish you more of the happy holidays and great poetry and right on, you know.
Yeah, and don't go back to Grinchitude, I guess,
No.
as well. All right, thank you. Round of applause for our featured reader, MC MoHagani Magnetek, reading to us from the freezing cold Fairbanks, Alaska. So cool that we finally got to hear you. I will quickly mention before we get on to the rest of tonight that next week's featured reader is going to be Bill Gaines, our own regular, who opened up the open reading tonight. So looking forward to that a lot as well. The rest of tonight's open reading, here's who I have on the list: Denise Dumars, Cheryl Latif, Michael G. Hickey, Carrie Cox, Ellen Thea, and me. If anyone else would like to be added, please don't hesitate to let me know in the chat, and I'll be happy to add you. Just a friendly reminder, 2 poems maximum, less is more is the suggested time limit. Cheryl Latif, you are on deck. Please welcome our next reader, Denise Dumars. Hi, Denise.
Hey, wow, that was a fabulous reading, and I'm so glad I got to hear you read. That was just amazing. And I also like the Wonder Woman motif too. So anyway, I was trying to decide what to read tonight and not having a lot of luck. So I think I'll just read one, and this is from a book of mine I don't think I've read from here before. The book is called Paranormal Romance, Poems Romancing the Paranormal. So it's all about the paranormal and ghosts and things like that. So this one is called Ghost Riders, and I always dedicated to my late cousin, Jimmy Hicks. Ghost Riders, they're not what you think. Transparent Hell's Angels. Dude may have weighed 280 in life, but now weighs less than a feather. A last member of the Hessians 1% is on his oxygen tank today, telling me how he saw his late friend, the one Jim Carroll wrote about, who came looking for him right there in intensive care, transparent as a hooker's raincoat. You don't tell him that you've seen them as they laugh through red light cameras, disappearing into the Milky Way out around Yucca Valley, heading toward the honky-tonk at Pappy's Pioneer Town, leaving you in the dust of life, out where the sky is vaster than the afterlife, darker than the demons that compelled the Ghost Riders to leave the mainstream world behind, even when they were alive, none fearing the end that inevitably comes too soon. You taste salt and reaper ale on your tongue, grow claustrophobic beneath a sky you had no idea was so fucking crowded. And the hollow roar of phantom engines nearly drowns out the Graham Parsons tribute band at Pappy's. And you are the one sad motherfucker alone in the crowd. You could disappear into the tarantula darkness of the Mojave, a vision quest beneath the great chaotic smear of the night sky. Or you could stop a while and listen to their voices before going back to the bar. Last call, just too damn ironic. Then the long, dark, lonely road home. Don't worry, they'll be here when you travel the dark highway again. You'll start to feel the freedom of coming and going as one pleases without corporeal limits. But it's a trap. Don't believe it. Everyone would come back full throttle, sell his weevilly soul for just one more taste of Jack Daniels, one kiss from the girl singer in Daisy Dukes. Finish your beer, say a prayer, give them the middle finger salute or any other gesture you feel is appropriate, and then watch them fade, fade, headlights lost in the Milky Way. Thank you.
Denise, thank you. Great piece tonight. Good to hear you using some language we don't typically hear from you. You're getting all steampunk in your genre, I guess. Enjoyed it. Round of applause for Denise Dumars. On deck, Michael G. Hickey. Please welcome now Cheryl Latif. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here. I've got 2 poems for you. Night Vision. The past keeps sending me inscribed invitations. I read them, but never RSVP. It's rude of me, I know, but between the lines, I find irony in Formica, linen, and good china. Women who wear heels to garden parties. Heels that sink in soft summer grass. I was a child of university. Grammar in my cereal bowl, syntax on the barbecue. Publish or perish professors smoking pot in the back room while we splashed in the pool. Behind the smiles and cigarettes, tomes of transgression, tucked away like drafts of unfinished novels they thought I'd never see. There was a cottage on the beach where arguments might drown in the swells, where night's high tide would sweep under the deck as if to return treasures taken or wash away those charming 50s facades. Now there's just sand and shore, sandpipers, the lagoon with the darting insects hovering above, and memories in every tide pool. Brine is a fine preservative. Joyful imagination. There is no hiding the force of goodness, the strength of connection, the timeless understanding of what is and what may be. It is written on your face and mine, hovers above each of us with promise to be embraced as we walk this path with friends amid chirping birds, playful pets, the sound of music filling the air, filling our hearts with the delight we are called to share. After all, we must start somewhere.
Good ending, Cheryl. Lot of wisdom in there. Of course, it reminds that we also have to end somewhere, but I'm going to try not to think about that right now. I also like the line of Wine is a fine preservative. I know it preserves me sometimes, so happy to hear that out loud. Thanks for being here tonight. Round
Thank
of
you.
applause. Round of applause for Cheryl Latif. On deck, Carrie Cox. Please welcome now Michael G. Hickey. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Rick. Good evening, everyone. I have two poems tonight. Excuse me. The first one is for Vanessa. Vanessa, hopefully you're out there somewhere. And this is called Pilot Light. Gangbanger, doppelganger, shapeshifter, brandy snifter. It all depends on the sound from the calliope I see in the corner with my new sunglasses, a new point of view. As the fiery fuselage of my former love life, a World War II Mustang fighter jet descends, shot down, plummets, falling in love, free falling through the firmament at daybreak. I'm headed for the jungle below, but you are my parachute. You are my ripcord, drifting directly into my arms, where apparently without knowing it, I'd been waiting a lifetime or more for you, for our yin yang love, alabaster, obsidian, and all the sterling silver in between. Your love has become my coda, my denouement, my pilot light, as your spirit floats toward me in the orange, pink, scarlet dawn, a crystal cut cocktail tumbler of hope and joy, casting a silhouette of antiquity, serenity, and serendipity. And every time you, my darling, walk in the door, that old pilot light of mine flicks back on again, and I fall in love with you all over, and the way you make me feel that I love myself again all over too. Thank you. And the next poem is called Dove. When I first started teaching poetry writing, I was teaching this class, and I'll never forget this young woman, Dove. I didn't really have to make much up here. Okay, Dove. Aquamarine mohawk, nose ring, dragon tattoo on upper arm. Her name is Elizabeth Shortly, but she prefers me to call her Dove. I hope we're not going to waste the whole semester, she says, talking about a bunch of old white farts who've been dead 100 years. The first exercise is to write at the speed of sound for 5 minutes. Write like your hair is on fire. Fill up as much of the page as possible. And if you need a jump start, use any color of the rainbow. And, as if by design, I point out the window to a rainbow on the horizon appearing like a prop. There is no better sound than the silence of 20 people writing as fast as they can. When time expires, Dove volunteers to read. Her title is My Green Vulva. But someone coughs and I hear My Green Volvo. By the third stanza, it becomes abundantly clear that the poem has no relation whatsoever to the world's safest automobile. I praise Dove for the inventiveness and imagination in her writing, but the class seems to sense the trepidation in my voice. The next week, I encourage students to play God and write an obituary for the person of their choice. Combat boots marching to the front of the room, Dove recites her newest offering about a poetry writing professor gunned down in an underground parking garage. Elizabeth Shortly, alias Dove, successfully completes Introduction to Poetry Writing, and I see her name on next semester's enrollment list for intermediate poetry writing. I should probably forewarn the teacher, Todd, an arrogant prick who claims to be related to Walt Whitman, but I decided instead to wait until the second week and give Dove a crack at Todd's first assignment: memorize and deconstruct Lord Byron. Thank you.
Michael, thank you. And on behalf of all future dead white guys, I want to thank you for the representation as well. What a cool teacher you must have been. I'm not sure if you're still doing it, but that would have been a cool thing to experience, I think. I also really dug the line brandy sniffer, or the phrase anyway.
Thank you. I share with Bill this thing for French words, so denouement, I don't know, I'm with you, Bill, on that.
All right. Well, next week's theme is all interesting French words, so keep it in mind if you're going to show up next week. Thank you. Round of applause for Michael G. Hickey. By the way, Michael, in the spirit of our conversation last week about having similar book titles, I'm renaming my son Michael G. Hickey. I hope you don't mind. On deck, Ellen, Thea, please welcome. Ooh, Carrie is gone. Okay, well, maybe Carrie will come back. Ellen, guess what? You're going to be up now. That's all the warning you get. We will say quickly, Frog Corpse, you're on deck, and please welcome Ellen Thea. Hello, Ellen.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I live in Willow. I live in Alaska as well. So, how you doing? MC, we're neighbors, almost. Anyway, I have 2 poems today. And, all right, this first one, the theme was immigration. And, I did this for the Poetry Global Network's Chicago Poetry Festival when I was a featured reader. This is We All Come From Somewhere. Me? The secret's in my name. The cosmic nurturer, mom and dad, that is the one divine parent, encourages me to phone home, call often. Though the area code is supernaturally and extravagantly long distance, no longer even on the same galactic plane or dimension, in the white light black hole, the center of all in all. We all come from somewhere. We exist in diaspora, exile, from the moment we slid down the long ladder, far from home, wherever, a spark of divine dust, holy water, and a gift of sacred breath, unseen, unsmelled, holy, wholly invisible, indivisible. We exist like air in water, a fish out, yet always wet, unaware of its existence in a saturated environment. All so-called indigenous. I say so-called because each tribe everywhere, no matter identification, has a story they call the truth of how they came to be here in this space-time continuum at this moment. And everywhere, the same story of how us, the people, are the only people like no other. All those other people are the other, invading our exile, but whoever, whatever, we began it all. We are all nomads, wanderers, wayfarers, carrying our tabernacles into and throughout the wilderness. We may think it's the greener grass syndrome or brave new worlds or to tread where no one has gone before, but footprints in the sand, washed away by waves, the illusion of only one, aloneness that we are unseen, unaccompanied save for possible guidance from a potential internal homing instinct, more, better than salmon, bats, pigeons, whales, spiders, an instinct attuned to the beginning source of all in all, which is not here. Here is the illusion of somewhere, but nowhere, and not our home. Is it immigration of ascent from land to air that the caterpillar wonders about, the butterfly migrating? We all come from somewhere, where I do not know. I only know Cosmic Mama and Cosmic Papa continue to encourage me to phone home, call off, and I can even reverse the charges. Someone else has already paid the price for this connection. We all come from somewhere. Me? I'm a resident alien. The secret's in my name, but I'll never tell. Thanks. My second piece is a somatic poem that I usually do standing up and performing, and I'm not sure I feel comfortable doing that in my jammies right now, so. But we'll see. This is Goddess Speaks, Bereshith. And I have to tell you, Rick, I chose this one for you. I'm very happy with your Parsha poems. I enjoy them very much. Thank you. And I want to get it. I want to get that book. I want to get your Siddur too. So thank you so much. So this is Goddess Speaks Bereshith. Bereshith is Genesis 1:1 in the beginning. Void, chaos, infinitude cracks the cosmic age. Ruach, wind, breath, roots, hovers, nestles, nurses, embraces, touches, shapes, molds, speaks, prays, chants, sings, sways, swirls, spins, dances, sparks, ignites, blazes, light, cleaves, dark, always. Thank you so much.
What a firecracker you are tonight, Ellen. Well done.
Thank you.
It's like an Alaskan invasion here tonight in Cobalt Poets. You, MC, you guys are taking over. We could use an invasion, the continental United States right now. So whatever you could do, we'd really appreciate that. And thank you so much for wearing pajamas, number one. Number two, for your nice words about my my Torah portion poems. I'm glad you dig them and glad you're in this space. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Round of applause for Ellen Thea. On deck, Jackie and Cathabella. Please welcome now Frog Corpse. Hello, Frog.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. This opener is for my newest poem that I've written. It's taken about a year. Similar with Mahogany, I've taken pieces that I couldn't put elsewhere, but also kept the theme and then just sat on them and worked them out up until the other day. This boy is ignorance, and this girl is want. Beware them both, and all of their degree. But most of all, beware this boy the most, for on his brow I see that written which is doom, unless the writing be erased. This poem's entitled December Visions Yet to Come. In a glen draped in winter's shawl, where the whispering pines guard sleep, drowsy branches creak and sway in the cold moonlight of a creek. A specter draped in tattered shrouds moves through the midnight air, with hollow eyes that pierce the soul, a gaze both cold and bare. The chimney stirs with whispers lost, memories flicker in dying light, each ember's ghost, a heavy cost, born entrenched in an endless night. O flicker, O dance, sweet fire of yore, revive the echoes of laughter's chime. Yet here I stand in the silent war, missing this love of mine. Gaily wrapped in ribbons, the gifts once sought with glee, lie scattered in forgotten rooms, like tales lost to the sea. Old ornaments hang askew, and their colors are dulled with age. Each shimmering remembrance of reflection lulls this breath away. A twisted wreath upon the door of thorns and withered vine, a gruesome welcome evermore, a testament to the passing time. A distorted, warped mockery of holly's festive grace, a chilling omen one could see draped on a pallid face. The Christmas tree, a skeletal frame adorned with bones so white, a morbid dance, a gruesome game plays out upon this night. Its star atop a fractured shard, its glass both cold and keen, a silent scream unheard, unmarred, a ghastly, gaunted thing. The stockings hung, not plump and full, with gifts and treats galore, but empty husks, a ghastly pool over the folk tales that came afore. Teflon sighs cite ghostly dreams, curling in frigid air. What was once ignited in passion's beam lingers still in a haunting stare. A shadowed figure, drab and tall, emerged from a lonely space, its spectral presence holding thrall with an icy hollow fate. Its eyes of coal, burning low, reflect this shadowed pain, a whispered promise soft and slow of torment and of rain. Torrential tears, a frozen stream, morose and with regret, a chilling climax, a cruel scene of a future one cannot forget. The clock strikes 12 at the final chime, a death knell, oh despair. Too late for warnings as its muteness stands, looming beyond all hope and prayer. The feast untouched, the table bare, a symbol of the void, a silent scream, a chilling fill, a future unalloyed. Without happiness, without laughter sound, with love and joy forgone, a barren wasteland all around, in the trails I spiraled down, each reflecting a dreadful light with the sorrow that it brings, the Christmas spirit long since gone throughout the coming year, and seeing through the smoke the face that made my dreams, a memory I once loved with life, dimming with every blink. It's getting closer. I wish you could have known her. It's hard to write this out when its future is set in stone. Thank you.
Frog, thank you so much. Glad you are coming back to Cobalt Poets. I think I mentioned last time you were here that I know you from the Poetry Superhighway monthly open reading that you come to sometimes, and different vibe, different space, sort of different background. But glad you're here. Welcome. Please keep coming back. Round of applause for Frog Corpse. On deck, me to close out the open reading. Please welcome now Katha, Bella, and Jackie. Hello to both of you.
Hello. Oh, hello, Rick. I'm going to start. Oh, Sharon, could you share screen for us or let us share screen? Yeah. Almost, huh? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Okay. We have Rick here. We're waiting for our wandering storyteller somewhere in Japan. In a city without internet, but one internet cafe. So we'll see if he gets here. We have our one set and poem, and then after that, if he gets here, we can read through some of the one that he sent. Okay, wandering storytellers. Calling wounded, this is Kazuaki, who we're waiting for, wherever he is. Calling wounded storytellers losers or negative in some culture, giving no chance of one's recovering. Oh, what a brave culture. And Jackie.
Jabberwocky, a good poem to read, to dispel logic. Just listen to its sound without making sound.
I love that. That's what James Joyce used to say. Just listen.
It's wavy gravy, not groovy gravy. He corrects me. But I'm a poet. I make up stuff.
Great. That's what wandering storytellers do. But Peter says, what does Peter say? Stop! We've all heard this. I cancel you forever and whatever you say. Nah, 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 nah. I can't hear you.
Telling my story. They're just words, I am told. But sometimes words are all that I have.
Uh-oh, here comes Kazuaki. U.S. has nurtured dangerous beasts as dogs now. The most dangerous one, Japan, off the kid gloves. Oh, this is Casabella. Driftwood monster. washed up on our shore, selfish and dangerous, stuck in the mud with him. For years he's haunted us. The changing faces of idealism and pride. We all wish for Mother America to be kind and true. Rick recovers quickly after the accident. His sense of humor. First time I flew, he said.
Oh, I read this one.
And Kazuaki, the gravestone of a maiden, secretly kept by some people for thousands of years. The very old story, and that's close to where he is now. So if we can give you a taste of what's on his mind. And Jackie and I could just take turns, and we'll just read half of it, I think, Jackie.
Okay.
Unless he shows up. He's trying to
In the nick of time.
Yeah, this is the time he said, and a little bit after, and he's searching for the internet cafe in a town without internet. That's what he said. Okay. One early morning in December, the postman rings twice. No one but a postcard left in the box.
A crazy bush warbler, totally off the season, stretching his tune out of the thicket, the next door suicides.
It was late afternoon in the early spring, 2 decades ago. He brought us a pot of carp soup.
The morning after, one of few friends told me he was found in the bottom of valley.
He had come often, always, cigarette in his mouth, and stood in the middle of sawdust.
His sister, the only beneficiary, immediately refused the inheritance, leaving the estate ownerless.
The coffee cup I bought in Okinawa broke with a clink in the middle of the night. I saw a shadow passing the window a few times.
That's it. A little weird, but nothing serious at all.
I think that's a good place to stop. Unless is that good, Rick? Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy we read to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank all three of you, Jackie, Cathabella, and Rick.
The fearless storyteller's accompanist.
This is Mio and shakuhachi, very old, maybe 17th century, maybe not. I don't know. Very old.
You should have it carbon dated, I think.
Yeah.
It's curved.
It's the bindings are sealed with tar. That's not been used in hundreds of years. Now they just wrap.
Or else they can sugi them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Thank you to the collab as it existed tonight, Cathabella, Jackie, and Rick. Sorry Kazuaki didn't make it.
Yeah.
He's in Japan wandering around where they haven't put the internet in yet, I guess. But
in this seaside town, he said, I don't know why it's there exactly, to escape having to storytell maybe.
there you go. Perhaps we'll find out someday. Thank you, Cathabella. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Jackie. Perhaps we'll have Kazuaki another time. All right, round of applause to the collab. I'm going to close out the open reading with 2 poems. On a night where Alaska has invaded us, I will have to read from my book, High Moose Alert. poems written in Alaska and the Canadian Yukon, and technically Vancouver as well. But since our featured reader is in Fairbanks, I'm going to read this poem that I wrote at the end of our day in Fairbanks. It's called Good Night, Fairbanks. My lips dry, my hands dry, my stomach and heart full, Fairbanks full. My tongue on ice bare, my eyes on antlers arch, my trout fishing in America. We rode river, we smelled reindeer, we pet dogs, we riverboat, we happy bird, we blueberry donut, we maple syrup friend, we wine and cheese, we whiskey. My lips dry, my hands dry, everything else wet like Chena River. That's the Chena River's second appearance tonight, maybe third. I'm not sure. Keep showing up. And this is a poem I wrote for this week's Torah portion, brand new. The title in Hebrew is Vayeshev, or the title of the portion, which means "and he dwelt." My poems this cycle are responding to the translation of the name of the Torah portion. This poem is called No Promises. A long time ago, in a holy land far, far away, a father of many pitched his tent. It happened in an exact spot, and we're still arguing about it. By we're, I mean everybody, not just us, but everybody. We're arguing about the spot. We're arguing about who gets to dwell in the spot. We're arguing about whether that first guy had any right to be there, or more exactly, his descendants whose buildings have other people's buildings built on top of them. Everyone is trying to prove something, and our agreements only last a few minutes before someone says, nah, and the blood starts to flow again just outside the body. All of this used to be orange groves, I used to say, in my old neighborhood, and before that it was just a valley, which is a low place, or a Canaan, and before that the tectonic plates pushed everything around. This whole civilization is half a blink of an eye. I'm the descendant of someone who lived a second ago. We all are. When the eye finally closes, no one will remember our buildings or borders. We've been promised nothing. Oh, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Round of applause again, and gratitude to our featured reader, MC MoHagani Magnetek, currently in Fairbanks, Alaska, probably floating on the Chena River right now. I think she immediately after reading went out on the nighttime Alaskan Fairbanks Chena canoe. I'm not sure. I just pasted in the chat the things that I pasted earlier to support our featured reader. You can add to the virtual passing of the hat for her via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal at the link there. There's again the link to her broadside on the Cobalt Poets website. When you're there, if you're not already on our email list, after you finish looking at all the broadsides that you'd like to, click on email list and add your email. You'll get a weekly email or two promoting the reading with a Zoom link. Also on the website is the calendar of who's coming up in future weeks. As already mentioned, Bill Gaines will be our featured reader next week. Also in the chat, finally, there's a link to our featured reader's book, BFAP End Sightings at the Bus Stop, a poetry collection released at least as many times as Whitman's Song of Myself. Maybe I could be making that up, but there you go. Buying a book is a great way to support a poet as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thanks to everyone for being here. I'm gonna click on Ask All to unmute so everyone can say hi to each other.
Hey, that was a great set, MC. I have a brother who lives near you. He's in Eagle River. And when you guys talk about cold, it's a different kind of cold than what we're down used to in the lower 48.
Yeah, it is different. And the cheetah probably is frozen now.
Yeah, you
the
fly
river
on it.
does freeze this time of year. Yeah. Whoa, this is so
Told
much
him to
fun.
leave.
This was